Let's go back more direction we came from. Again, was a pretty darn steep drop off. Like that might be doable. This looks a little better. I think this should be possible. Get up here. Then we can go here, and is it impossible to go this way? A little aggressive, but great if we could. That was maybe not the best. Not exactly the best pathing there, but we could. Oh, hold on. I had second thoughts. Like being right on the ridge. Too much momentum. Hold on. Hold on. It can be done. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. This is the spot to be. This is the spot to be. There we go. See, it can be done. Can be done. Okay, now we just go all Spider-Man. Go spot. No, that's not what I meant. I meant like go in parallel to the ground. Okay. Okay, now that works. That works. Let's see. Is this the this is the middle of these interactable things. Not the most recent one that we did. So we're making progress for sure in that case. And go this way. That's gonna be tough though. I don't know. Is that climbable? I'm not sure it is. Is that climbable? I'm looking at this and thinking, I'm not sure we're getting around that. Guess we can go a little bit more to the side there. Maybe that's the answer? Okay, but I don't want to go straight up this. I want to go... Don't be so vertical. Be more horizontal. Here we go. Now we're... Just don't drop down. Just don't drop down behind us. And we're fine. Go this way, and you'll be fine. This way, and you'll be fine. Totally fine. Don't worry about it. No. This way. There we go. Yeah, so this, I would say, is maybe the most difficult planet that we've had to traverse thus far. So this is the good old days in the Mako. Fighting the mountains. Okay, hold on. Reassess. So, I mean, the facility is not too far away, actually. Do we have it marked on our map right now? No, we don't. Okay, so I've been kind of trying to follow this, but that might not be the best thing for us to follow after all. Let's put our marker actually on the facility itself. So yeah, it's more in this direction than we were planning on going, perhaps. My question is, do that? Is that too steep, or do we go this way instead? It looks like that might be a little tough. Especially if we're down here and not here. The question with this, my fear with this, is if we fall off on the left side, then we've got quite a drop and we're going to lose quite a bit of progress. So, not quite enough. Go, okay, no, don't go backwards. But if we go to the right, come on, Mako, I'm turning to the right. I'm turning 90 degrees to the right now, and you can see how effective that's working. Okay, maybe don't jump though. That's pretty risky. Oh no. So Come on. This is the kind of thing that was much more common back in... Oh, no. Oh. Well. 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 Are we going to get stuck down here? Is this the very place where we were stuck before? I mean, there's almost no going up here. We're in trouble. We have nowhere to go but down. And we can't go up here. I think we just lost all of our progress. So that sucks. Yeah. That's painful. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to go all the way around. We could try going around to the left. So that really sucks. And this is one of the things that I think a lot of people did not like very much about Mass Effect 1, was that, you know, this is perhaps the most extreme example. But there were times when it just felt like, hey, I just want to get to the place where I'm supposed to go. You know, sure, there's the whole... I'm fine with running into random things along the way. That's cool. Unexpected minerals, enemies, loot, what have you. But, you know, if I'm gonna do that, then at least make it bearable to traverse the place where I need to traverse to do all that. That's, I think, sort of the thought process that a lot of people had in Mass Effect 1, is they're like, okay, you know, I'm willing to travel around to find the stuff that I need, but only to a certain extent. If you're going to make it a real pain to do so, then, you know, is it really worth that? And so, on some planets, in particular where they're particularly flat, not so bad. You know, you can make do. It's more or less like this, just driving ahead, and sure, you have a little bit of downtime, but it's not the end of the world. Whereas, as we just saw, the other extreme would be that the barriers that you need to get through or over are so significant that it becomes a whole ordeal just to get over them. And then if things don't go perfectly, then you'll drop down and you'll have to completely reset. And that does not feel good. That feels not only like a waste of time, but it also feels like a bit of a slap in the face. So I understand that criticism, and you know, like I said, it certainly didn't feel good dropping down there. But I think, you know, at least in this case, we now appear to have found an alternate pathway. So that's encouraging. And this looks much more promising. Like that there looks like a nice way up. Much more peaceful. But yeah, I think the question is basically, you know, to what extent is driving around in the Mako and climbing up tall mountains supposed to be a core gameplay mechanic? And to some, maybe that's somewhat exciting, driving around like this, but I mean, this is one thing. Trying to drive up 85-degree angles at, you know, the slowest of speeds, that's... yeah, you know, it's maybe not the most compelling of things to be doing. But anyways, we're on the right side of the mountain face now. And we have, of course, seen this facility briefly before. It is, well, is it up a little bit higher? It may be, by the looks of things. And there was a nice pathway leading up to this that we didn't exactly follow. So if this does not prove successful, then there should be an alternative route, although it looked for a second like we were going to be able to manage to brute force our way through. I'm surprised here that going straight up seems to be proving more effective than going down, or going up diagonally, which is usually the method proves the most successful. But here we go. Alright. So here we are. Saw some Thorian creepers out here before. And, well... is that... no, that's just a random dead guy, I think. We can hop in here, but I think let's save now, because I don't think we've saved on this planet yet. Then, let's hop in, and, well, I think the expectation is probably more Thorian creepers. Okay, at least initially, no signs of enemies here. Looks like our typical science station layout, and then we have something over in one of the back rooms to theoretically conclude this type of encounter. So we'll head in and look for that. So, oh. That's interesting. Is, not... It looks like a bar, almost. I'm like, what? Someone about to serve us up a beverage or something? There's, an upgrade kit. We're actually getting level 7 here. Oh, well, Shredder rounds only goes up to 7, so that does make some sense. That's not a pure coincidence that we happen to be getting such a low-level piece of gear at this point, when we were talking earlier about how we should be getting mostly 9 or 10. This here, technically, I think is something that we only saw in and around the Thorian itself. So, indication that the Thorian has somehow planted its seeds elsewhere? Maybe? Well, now we're starting to see some enemies here. And, let's just take a quick look at our gear, because, of course, we know what type of damage we're expecting to get from them. It is, toxic damage that ignores our shields. That means shields upgrades, not so relevant. Toxic resistance upgrades, like medical exoskeleton 10, very relevant. I think hardening as well might count. So this is basically the ideal combo we have on us right now. Medical exoskeleton plus combat exoskeleton, both level 10. Then for Liara, we have combat exoskeleton 9 and medical exoskeleton 9. That probably is, that may be as good as we can do for her. Let's just check with Rex. In his case, medical interface 7. We go up to healing 9, that'd be great. Do we have any more of those, though? Combat exoskeleton 8. We're looking for, at least we were starting with, medical. And... oh, only 7. So, no upgrades for Rex, at least from the medical interface standpoint. Oh, okay, well, actually, he's double... I don't know if medical exoskeleton or, like, you know, the same type of upgrades actually stack or not. So in theory, that would mean he's at 110% toxin resistance, and I don't think that's actually true. So that would presumably mean that whenever he does get hit by those types of attacks from the Thorian creepers, that he takes 0 damage. Or, I don't know if he could actually get healed, I doubt it. But maybe the toxin part is just the damage over time component to it, in which case you might actually be able to completely resist that, whereas the hardening part might be the pure upfront damage, like the initial hit. You reduce that damage from hardening, whereas the damage over time you reduce from toxin resistance. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, interestingly enough, medical exoskeleton 7 does have higher toxin resistance than medical exoskeleton 8, medical interface 7, because this one is a little more specialized, whereas this one also introduces that whole cooldown reduction part. So we might actually want to get rid of this one and instead throw on, where is that, level 9 combat exoskeleton? Yes, this gives the hardening. That might be the best way to reduce the initial damage. Not 100% sure, but... whoa, they have immediately noticed us. Okay. One down. This could serve as a nice choke point here. Let's maybe... Liara's using her shotgun, which I think she still is on the explosive stuff. But, let's have Rex switch over to shotgun. Because as we're seeing, those shotguns have the chance of knocking these guys down. It is very helpful. Of course, we can also proceed to use our crowd control abilities, though interested to see if we even need to here. If we have enough damage and crowd control from knocking people off their feet with our shotguns that this might suffice. Yeah, so that's the explosive rounds from Liara. Send him flying. He's not dead. Still see him on the map, but he did go flying. Still in there, though. Ow, he's coming after us. Might have knocked him so far back that he went around some of those barriers. Had to run around them again, just to, yeah, just get through to us. Liara says it's the last of them. We'll see about that. At least at the moment, trying to keep our eyes peeled for potential upgrade kits and the like. They've been hiding in here. Not seeing anything at the moment. There's obviously this back area here. That's where the actual quest, in theory, would get completed. Let's finish on that. Yeah, not seeing any loot in here. So I think let's head to that back room, and let's see what we find. Usually, there are two rooms we can go into back here. Looks like the left one has whatever the quest completing interaction-y thing is, whereas this, the other side oftentimes either has loot or sometimes even enemies, or dead people. Could also be dead people, I suppose. Maybe dead people and loot? Even better. Alright, oh! Interesting! Okay, this might be the first time we've actually seen this prompt come up, but I've spoken about it several times before. You currently have 250 items. You are nearing your 300 item limit. You'll be forced to salvage any new items you find once you reach this limit. Sell or salvage some items at your earliest convenience to avoid reaching this limit. I actually did not remember this warning coming up at 250 previously. Obviously, if you reach 300, like it says, you do need to immediately salvage. Don't remember. It might only let you salvage among the things that you are considering picking up, and not allow you to salvage things that you already have in your inventory. It's been a while. It's been years, so I don't remember exactly. But ooh, okay. Well, we did get a level 10 and a pretty high level, or rather, pretty high rarity manufacturer assault rifle here, so that could be decent. But as that prompt said, we want to be mindful of the number of items we have here, and we're gonna need to sell or Omnigel, turn things into Omnigel pretty quickly. That being said, we're just about done on this planet. Of course, we explored everything outside of this facility first, and so we should still be safe wrapping up this mission, and then as soon as we get back, we'll sell things back on the Normandy or on the gel things. See what we find here. Of course, the worst case scenario is you run out of space. Oh, run out of space right as you're getting some really good items. You're like, oh man, now I can't fit it in my inventory. So yeah, actually, it does continue to remind us, which probably going to get annoying if we keep this up for a while, but it is good that at the very least it would be hard to accidentally reach that 300 mark without realizing that you were approaching it, because game is going to make sure you know, and it's going to tell us again here in all likelihood, unless at some point it says, come on. At this point surely you are reading those messages. But that does appear to be all of them here. All the loot, at least, that is. Quick double check. The only things we're seeing that we can interact with are our squad mates. So let's head in here. And we might find more loot, but more importantly, whatever it is, it will conclude this mission.
Rescuers? Oh, thank God. See? I told you somebody would come to investigate that signal. My name is Dr. Ross, Chief Exogeni researcher at this facility.
Okay, so you set up the signal?
We've been trapped in this room for days. We're almost out of food and water. You got here just in time.
Okay, we have, in theory, rescued you, sure. But, still odd circumstances in which to find you. There were obviously the Thorian creepers outside, and we learned, of course, on Pharos that generally, at least things that go near the Thorian itself, tend to get infected by the spores and get mind controlled. Guess we don't really know if the actual Thorian has any sort of influence here. We obviously know there were Thorian creepers, but I guess we don't know. We actually don't know how those Thorian creepers get created, do we? We know the Thorian thralls, or at least the humans that get possessed by the Thorian through the spores, yes, but presumably that's not how the creepers got created, unless they're actually originally humans that got transformed over time from the Thorian. I don't know. But either way, it's just, it's strange to see Thorian creepers and potentially what appear to be perfectly sane, rational humans in the same area.
I need to know what's going on. Why is this place crawling with Thorian creepers?
How do you know about the Thorian?
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm getting at here is, how are you here and Thorian creepers here? That seems kind of strange and would seem to suggest that it's not a coincidence. Those Thorian creepers didn't just get here, by happenstance.
I know what Exogeni was up to. I saw what they let the Thorian do to those colonists, so I destroyed it.
Our secret's out then. No point in my lying. You already know the worst. The creepers here were created using altered samples from the specimens on Pharos. We discovered a way to turn them into docile, obedient servants.
They didn't seem docile.
A few days ago.
They did fight us.
All the creepers suddenly went berserk. Only a handful of us made it back into the safety of this room.
Huh. I wonder if they were docile until we destroyed the Thorian. That is, I mean, technically, I guess we don't know exactly how long ago it was since we destroyed the Thorian in-game, but that would seem like the timeline might more or less line up. So, let's see, what else can we learn more about? So, I mean, the distress signal you sent to us, I mean, was it... I suppose it was legitimate. It doesn't seem like it was some kind of fake distress signal that was, well, I guess maybe we don't know definitively. I mean, did you actually need our help to rescue you from these Thorian creepers, or were you trying to lure someone into a trap to get killed by those creepers?
Why didn't you send a clear message asking for help? All we had was that signal from the emergency beacon.
This is a closed communications base. Exogeni was worried about someone on the project selling secrets to a rival firm or reporting our work to the authorities. We have no direct communication with the outside, only the emergency beacon. It sends a general distress signal to the Exogeni site on Pharos. They're supposed to send a team to respond inside of 24 hours, but it sounds like they had problems of their own.
I mean, Exogeni has had a bit of a tumultuous past few days, so I suppose that makes some sense. But, let's see, what else can we learn? The other survivors? I mean, we're just referring to the other people in this room with us, or did those Thorian creepers kill other people? I mean, we've seen a lot of corpses, to be honest with you, so I'm not sure that bodes well for these other, quote-unquote, survivors. They may not be survivors anymore.
Any chance some of the other people at the base might still be alive?
I doubt it. Too many creepers out there. They never stood a chance. We're the only ones left.
Okay. Well, I guess, can we learn anything else about how those creepers actually did go berserk? Like I said, I mean, I think my theory would be that maybe you did truthfully find a way to make them docile, and I'm not sure how much we can believe you with that, but let's assume you're telling us the truth, and that is actually the case, that they were docile for a while, but then suddenly, a few days ago, they took a complete turn, and suddenly they were very aggressive and started attacking you, and obviously they attacked us as soon as we came in here. I would think that would be because the death of the Thorian might have created, or made those Thorian creepers go insane. That's actually more or less exactly what happened to the Rachni, right? It wasn't because the Rachni Queen died as much as it was just them being separated from the Rachni Queen that made them go insane so they couldn't be controlled.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Maybe there was still some kind of link between the creepers and the Thorian back on Pharos.
Exactly.
The Thorian was unlike any other life form we've ever studied. I can't explain how, but maybe when it died, it somehow set off the creepers here.
I think there are crazier ideas. I think that could certainly be it. Let's see, so that's everything we can ask you about, other than just saying that we have no further questions, Your Honor.
I've heard all I need to.
Look, I know what we did here was wrong. I'll admit that. But it's over now. There's no sense reporting this to the authorities, right?
Huh? Excuse me? What are you trying to suggest? What are you trying to say? We did walk past several dead people. Numerous dead people on our way. So, you know, it does seem like this is perhaps a little bit of a bigger deal than you're trying to make this out to be.
You were in charge of this project. The safety of the staff was your responsibility. They trusted you, and you betrayed that trust.
Be reasonable. I didn't mean for this to happen. Besides, how does it help anyone if I end up in jail?
You don't do this again?
Normally Exogeni would have my back, but it sounds like they're going to have their hands full cleaning up the mess on Pharos. But I've got money. A nice little emergency fund I set up. It's yours if you let us go.
So you're trying to bribe us. And, so this is actually a perfect example of something where if you had the maximum amount of money, and therefore could not actually gain any more money, then this type of offer would be completely meaningless to you. You'd say, well, it doesn't do me any good at all to receive this additional money, so why would I ever take the bribe from you? There's no upside to it, right? So this is the kind of thing where, in some ways, you'd actually kind of like to not be on maximum money, so that this has a little bit more meaning. Because, well, we can accept it. We can say, no thank you. We can't do that. Maybe phrasing is such that this suggests that it's the morally incorrect thing to do. Or we can just say, we should just kill you. Because that's not cool. And so, I mean, we aren't at maximum money. We do have a lot of money, so it's probably not that significant to us anyway. So it does perhaps make the decision a little bit easier nonetheless, but I think either way, that's not what we do here. We're not in the taking bribes business, I'm afraid.
The victims here deserve justice. I have to take you in.
That's not going to happen.
Oh.
Open fire.
Is that so?
Open fire.
Okay. So, that escalated quickly. So, let's see. Sure, there's a scientist. There's several scientists. Yes, I imagine they're probably engineers that might have some tech abilities thrown at us, but also some mercenaries. So, you know, it's not like you were an entirely peaceful group. But they are clustered very close together. So what if we, say, did something like Singularity all them? That did not hit nearly as many people as I wanted it to hit. Well, I can't really... That person definitely got Singularity. Can't tell... no, I take it back. I think you got absolutely everyone, on second thought. This mercenary, let's send you to the moon. You're dead. If it actually hit you, you might eventually be dead. Exogeni's second-rate mercs proved no match for a trained Alliance Marine. With the last of the science crew dead, there's no reason to linger here. Well, that may be, except for the part where there might be additional loot. I was also looking to check, like, because we're getting close to our item limit, or inventory size limit, and occasionally we do get items from just fighting enemies, not even looting chests. In some ways, I was hoping that we would not get anything, otherwise we were at risk of more quickly filling up our inventory. We should be fine here, especially since we aren't getting anything directly from just fighting them. But we will get closer to the 300 limit here. Okay, frictionless materials, I do like that a lot. Wish it was level 10, but okay. Then technician kit and wetware kit. Sometimes this means Omni-Tool, sometimes that means Biotic Amp. That'd be great, of course. And, yes, I know that we're getting close. But just armor upgrades here. And this case, do have amps. Ooh. Ooh, okay. A couple of them, in fact. And even, first aid station, not really sure that we need it, but if we blew this up on ourselves, maybe we would. Not that we should do that. But now let's take a quick look at those biotic amps. I think they're definitely not going to be any better than what we currently have equipped on Liara, because she is a pretty amazing one. But, ooh, when did we get this? It's pretty solid. Did we just get that? We might have. We definitely got, one of them was the Solaris amp. Might have been Unity as well. In which case, not great, but I don't remember picking this up. Duration versus cooldown. I mean, we sacrificed, what, 10 duration in order to pick up 11 cooldown bonus? We lose the power bonus? So it's maybe the slightest bit worse than what we have currently equipped. But it's up there. It would be pretty solid. Of course, Liara has a really good amp. She's the best one that we currently have available to us. And that is the best one in the game if you get it all the way up to level 10. So she's definitely sticking with what she has here. That Rex. It's a higher level version of what you currently have equipped. So, yeah. I think, well, in your case, you have, what, Warp and Throw are the two abilities we're using for you. The duration is useless for Throw. It is relevant for Warp. Cooldown bonus is relevant for both of them. Power bonus might be the most relevant thing for you, though, because both of those abilities do deal damage directly. So, or well, actually Throw, I suppose, doesn't, but I mean, if you increase the power of the throw, you have more newtons of force, which I assume does eventually affect how much damage you do if you actually throw someone into some kind of wall. So, might not necessarily be the best fit for him specifically, but it is a better version of his existing biotic amp, so it is, for that reason, worth throwing on here. Just, in theory, maybe preferable to shuffle around the biotic amps a little bit and give the one that Rex currently has to someone else who cares more about the cooldowns and less about the damage. Like, to be honest, even us, we could potentially... Hold on. Out of curiosity. Let's swap this out real quick. And give Rex the one we were just using, which would be you. This would give him better duration, little bit worse cooldown, but does give him a power bonus, which we were saying before is something that he probably would like to have. Then that allows us to more directly compare either Prodigy or what's the alternative would be Polaris. So, oh, and this is just a worse version of what Rex had, which might be worth, if we are going to have him having one of the Polaris is, have him have still the slightly worse one and have us have the slightly better one. Yeah, that's tough. But, I guess we'll... That is what we had previously, though, right? Yeah? Alright. Alright, we'll go... What was it? We'll give Polaris 8 to Rex. And we'll give Polaris 9 to us, I think. Maybe that's best. Maybe this is best. I don't remember where that puts us relative to our starting points. A little bit of Biotic Amp musical chairs. For all I know, maybe we ended up exactly where we started, but, you know, we took a look at it all. And in theory, we still have at least one decent Biotic Amp hanging out in our inventory, so we can give that to someone else. Okay, so we've now explored basically the entirety of this planet. So let's head back up to the Normandy. And let's see, we do very much want to sell some things or omnigel some things, because otherwise we are probably going to hit that limit. And we were fortunate in that the mission we were on at the time was a short one. So it wasn't like, you know, we got the message relatively early in the mission. So it wasn't like it was, oh my goodness, we just got here, And, we're gonna end up having to destroy all the items that we encounter for the rest of this mission. I mean, generally, when you're talking about long missions, like main quest ones, then there should be some salesperson or tradesperson somewhere.
Looking for supplies?
So it wouldn't be like you'd be stuck
Let's see what
forever
you've got.
You bet, Commander.
with just turning everything into Omnigel, but still. Wouldn't feel great. Ooh. Hold on. We have some pretty decent options here. These level 10 items from good manufacturers at that. That, I believe, has been our go-to shotgun and perhaps even our go-to sniper rifle as well. I believe we've seen Rosenkopf has the highest damage. So, yeah. I think that's probably worth doing here. We nabbed the 2 of those. Not as sure about the Harpoon 10. And what else do we... Ooh, Razor. Let's compare this to our weapon. No. Lower damage. Significantly lower heatsink capacity. Slightly better accuracy, but definitely not worth that sacrifice. And we start getting down to the low-level stuff, so... That's not so good.
Looking for
but,
supplies?
we were saying we wanted to sell things, then we just bought things, so that's no good.
Let's see
We
what
gotta
you've
sell
got.
some stuff.
You bet, Commander.
Okay, so let's sell. And I think we should have lots of low-level stuff at this point that we can sell. And by low-level, I mean, like, even level 9 at this point, we might have several repeats. We really need this many kinetic exoskeletons? Probably not. And, we might have been, I think we were at the Alliance Requisition Officer not that long ago, and which is partially why when I saw that prompt saying that we're about to run out of inventory space, I was a little bit surprised. Because, it seemed like we had been selling some things to him not that long ago. But I think the key thing was that, perhaps when we were last here, we didn't really sell much. We might have been at the maximum amount of monies, and so we just said to ourselves, well, we don't need this, so why would we sell anything? We have the good Turian armor to give to Garrus. Just purchased a better version of the sniper. And probably don't need that many Armageddons. Or Avalanches. That's bad rarity. Just want to keep an eye on the amount of monies we're seeing popping up here. And snipers, bad rarity again. Oh, all bad rarity. So we definitely did have some stuff that we could drop here. Should still run into several more things we can get rid of. But I think we're definitely gonna reach the money cap fairly quickly here. Well before we actually sell all the things that we would probably like to sell. These are all bad shotguns, bad snipers. Still worth a fair amount of credits. As you see here, basically the next thing we sell is going to get us to that level, or rather, that money cap. I think it means we probably stop selling here, and anything else that we want to dump at this point, we're looking to turn into Omnigel, which we're also doing a decent job on there. I mean, the cap there is probably 999, so we still have a lot of room to grow there, but then again, we've already completed the thing that would normally take the largest amount of Omnigel to complete, that being the mission in which we had to defuse the explosives. Deliberately buying some low-level biotic amps that we've definitely found better versions of, or better alternatives to, as of late. Hold on. Oh yeah, Prodigies. Not Savant is the one that's really good. For a second I was like, why do we have this just lying around? Yeah, now we just have the really good ones. They're all prodigies? Okay. That's fine. I think we have some old armors as well. This is... human... light human. I'd have to see. There's a chance that is still better than Caden's existing armor here. Definitely, let's mark them as trash and move them all simultaneously. Definitely some armors that are no longer the best armors for us. I mean, this was a good armor, but I think we've since gotten something better for Ashley. Maybe we hold on to that just in case. That's the hazard. We might have several rounds of hazard armor as well. There's a time when we were loading up on that. That should be removable. Not sure what the current state of Garrus's armor is. I thought we saw something really good in our inventory for Garrus not long ago. That's, in theory, hazard armor, but I have to imagine we have better than that. That's the really good one for Garrus. That's very good, or the best possible hazard armor for Ashley. So let's Omnigel all that stuff. Oh. All that stuff, that is. It's like, I was looking at the bottom Omnigel number to see that. I would think after Omnigeling a bunch of things simultaneously, the number would shoot up, and then it only went up by 4. It's like, did we just get rid of all that stuff and still not gain the additional Omnigel from it? That would not feel great. Alright, let's see. Then Omni Tools. We get rid of the Chameleon Tools. Those are not very good. Cypher Tool also looks pretty bad. Logic Arrest is actually our lowest level Omni Tool at the moment, but it looks like it's the best one we have. So we'll keep that and nothing else. Oh, once again. There we go. Okay. Grenade upgrades is another thing that I think we get a bazillion of. And we definitely keep the anti-thorium gas, because once you get that, you can't get it anywhere else. I just want to dump the lower level stuff. We actually don't have too many of them. Okay. Then you guys. And I think we're starting to look a little bit better here. Definitely do not need that many pistols. Think we'll be fine with just 20 pistols, thank you very much. 30 is far out. Karpov is the best kind, though. I think so. We are going to keep any level 9s, and that's probably the kind to keep. Excuse me. Oh, that. There we go. And then this is the Spectre pistol. Okay. Shotguns. Dump these guys. And once we start getting up to these guys, they're actually kind of decent. This one's a level 10, which it's a low rarity, but it's level 10, so I think it's worth a lot. And even if we don't necessarily want to sell it right now, it might be worth waiting until we are not at or near the money cap, in which case that could give us a decent boost. That's these trash. All bad manufacturers. Now we're starting to get into the better ones. Not you. Got several level 10 shotguns. Seems like we've had the most luck getting those to level 10 for whatever reason. Oh, Adventure is not very good either, though. Nor is the... yeah, well... Again, I think level 10, even if they're low rarity, we should probably hold on to them just to sell them if/when we do want to get a little bit more monies. Okay, so we should have significantly less items in our inventory now. Not sure exactly how many, but I no longer think we are desperate to offload them.